Using a variable that represents true and false allowed us to toggle a light on and off using the enable light method. We can use the same concept of using a true and false variable in order to toggle other things. In this video, we're going to talk about switching between two frames of an animation. The soccer player animation has two frames. The first frame is a blue jersey and the second frame is a pink jersey. And what we want to do is be able to switch back and forth whenever we click on the soccer player. So in order to do this, we need to click into the code. Oh, there we go, into the code. And let's set up the default state for what it is on start. And so we'll do function on start, and then we will do set frame 1 and end. And so this will set the animation of the thing to the first frame in the sequence of 2. Next, we need to set up our variable that will represent true and false. And so we'll just say the blue jersey, and we'll start that off as false. And you might be saying, why false? This will just ensure that the first click that we do triggers a switch. Now, we need to do another function for when we click it, function on click. And then the challenge here compared to the enable light is that we don't have a method that is like enable frame switch or something like that. We need to build out manual conditional statements. And so there are if and else, and they can get a little bit more complicated, but for right now, we'll just keep it simple. So what we want to say is if blue equal true, and so that's a comparison, then we can say set frame 1. Else, which is kind of like a catch-all, which means that only if the if statement doesn't run, we would then want to do set frame 2. And then we want to end. So essentially this is saying if blue is equal to or the same as true, then set the frame to 1. Otherwise, or else, set the frame to 2. And then end your conditional statement. Last, we need to toggle the true and false like we did in the previous video. So we'll say blue equals not blue. And what that will do is if it's false, it changes it to true. And if it's true, it changes it to false. Now, we can make this a little bit more efficient. We don't actually need to put this full statement here. We can just say blue, and it will recognize that you're evaluating a Boolean variable. Boolean variable is a variable that represents true or false. But this, I believe, should work. So let's check it out and make sure. And so when I go into play mode, we start in the blue jersey. When I click it, we change to pink. And when I click it again, we change to blue. And that continues because our conditional setup and our true or false variable allows us to do so.